So in step 2, let us start the step number 2 in design of doubly reinforced beam design. So in step 2, what we need to do? Compute the balance steel. Here we need to determine, compute the balanced steel. Balanced steel means what? I have told you previously that the doubly reinforced beam section can be splitted into two parts. One is this one and another one is this one. Now when you consider it as a singly reinforced beam, this one is doubly, right? Now this doubly can be represented as the summation of this one and this one. Now first one is the singly. Now when you consider this singly reinforced beam section, this one is the AST1, and that particular thing we need to determine in step number 2. Now how we can determine this AST1, that I am show you. So for that you need to write that total compression is equals to total tension. Now what is total compression and what is total tension, that I have already shown in singly reinforced beam section. Singly reinforced beam section, what is the total compression value? That is 0.36 FCKB into XU, and the total tension is 0.87 FYAST1. So here this is AST1 and this AST1 we need to determine. Now one thing you can do, either you can directly determine the AST1 by putting all these values, that means the FCK, the B, the XU and the FY here, and you can determine the AST1. Now if you don't able to remember this concept, that is total compression equals to total tension, by using this formula, what you can do, you can use the code. In the code everything is provided, like if I show you this one, you can see this formula, and here this is the same formula that I have written over there, but just only the representation is different. Here if you deduct this D from both the sides, it will be same as the formula that I have written over here, that is 0.36 FCKB XU equals to 0.87 FYAST1. Okay, so I don't want to remove this D in a second. Yes, why it is given in such a way? Because previously I have shown you the ratio of this XU by D, XU max by D. So that is why it is mentioned in such a way. Okay, so either you can put that formula here or you can use this also. Now let us determine the value of this AST1. So what is the value of this FCK? That is 20. The value of P is 300. Okay, the value of XU you can put here, XU by D or XU max by D, you know that we have shown you, that is 0.48, right? So what will be the value of XU max? Here you can write that 0.48 into D. So here in place of this XU you can write 0.48 into D. Okay, and what is that D value? Previously we have determined the effective depth, that is 462.5 mm. Let us check the effective depth. Yes, 462.5. Now if you use the formula which is given in the code, you can directly put the value of XU max by D, that means this one, that is 0.48. okay. And what is the value of Fy? That is 415 Newton per millimeter square. And so we have get all the values except this AST1. So you can determine the value of this AST1. So what is the value of AST1? If you solve this, you will get 1328 millimeter square. millimeter square, that is the value of the AST1. okay. Now after you determine this AST1, definitely you need to determine the AST2 as well. This thing you also need to determine, right? This is basically for the balanced moment. So how to determine that? That is very simple. So what is the total tension reinforcement? The total tension reinforcement that means the AST. This AST is equals to AST1 plus AST2, right? The first one is considering it as a balanced section or singly reinforced beam section, and this one is for the balanced moment. Now we got the value of this AST1, and the AST value is given in the question, and that is what? That is basically 5 number 25 torr steel bar, right? And the value that we got after calculation, that is 5 into 5 by 4 into 25 square, and the value I actually initially we already calculated, that is most probably 590 point something. Oh no, this one is 2454 millimeters square. Okay, so you can write it is 2454 millimeters square. And what is the value of this AST1 that we just determined? That is 1328 millimeters square. So definitely this AST2 can be determined, right? So AST2 will become 2454 minus 1328, and that is equals to 1126. Okay, this is the value of the AST2. Now as you got the value of the AST2, you can determine the value of the MU2 as well. The MU2, it can be also determined. And what is the value of the MU2? MU2 is very simple. This is the AST2, and this is at which level, where the stress value is 0.87. Let us show you the diagram so it will be very much clear to all of you. This is basically the beam, and if I draw the stress block diagram, up to certain distance it is straight line, then here it is something like this. We have two compressive forces, this one is CS and this one is CC, and here we have T. So suppose this is the level where we have AST, and suppose this is the level where we have AC. Now this AST is basically summation of AST1 plus AST2. So as we got this AST2, so this AST2 is at which level, where this T force is acting, right? And T force means what is the stress value over here, that is 0.87 Fy. This is the stress level at this particular level, right? So area should be multiplied with this area, that means AST2 should be multiplied with this particular stress. So that will give you the force, and that force should be multiplied with the lever arm. And what is the lever arm for this case? This one will be the lever arm, okay, and that value is D minus D dash. Repeating once again, this is the doubly reinforced beam section, this is the stress block diagram. So you know you can represent this doubly reinforced beam into two parts. First one is this one, and second one suppose this one. In first one we have only AST1, suppose this is the AST1, and in second one we have AST2. Where you have AST2, this you have the ASC as well. This one is ASC, area of steel under compression, this is AST2, and this is AST1. So the vertical distance between this particular two reinforcement, where you have this CS in this side and here you have T in this side, so this particular distance is the lever arm, that is D minus D dash. Understand? So this moment can mu2, this can be written with this equation, that is first is we determine the force into lever arm. Basically the concept is force into lever arm. What is force? That is stress into area. So stress here it is 0.87 Fy, this is the stress, multiplied with the area, that is AST2. Here at this particular level it is AST2, and multiplied with the lever arm, because we got the force over here, and the lever arm is D minus D dash. So this is the value of the mu2. Okay, mu2 can be determined in this way. So now what we get, basically we get the mu1, we get the value of the mu1, that means the total moment considering it as a singly reinforced section, and the mu2, and this is basically represented by mut. What is this? Look, I am writing here m suffix ut, that means the total moment due to steel failure. The total moment due to the steel failure. Okay, remember this thing, this is the total moment due to the steel failure, where in the first part we have determined the total moment considering it as a singly reinforced beam section, and the second part we have determined the balanced moment considering the AST2. Okay, AST2, that is at a level where the tensile reinforcement are given. So there we got the mu2. Actually we basically need to determine two things. First one is this one, that means the total moment in due to steel failure, and second one we need to determine the muc, This is basically the total moment due to the concrete failure. This C represented as a concrete. Okay, now there you will got two values, two moments. First one is mu1 plus here also you will get mu2, but in this case mu1 will be same as before. These two are same for whether you determine the moment due to the steel failure or concrete failure. For both the cases mu1 will be same. Difference is in only this mu2. Okay, because you see that when you determine the mu2 for this steel failure, there we have considered this AST2. There we have considered this AST2, but when you determine the mu2, this mu2 for concrete failure, then you will need to consider the ASC. For this ASC you will get mu2, and for AST2 you will get the mu2. That is the only difference in this mu determination of this mu2. Okay, you can change the nomenclature because it is looks same. And yeah, this thing we need to determine the ASC. Okay, ASC is already given. Sorry, the FSC needs to be determined. Now let us start. When we'll show you, it will be clearer concept. So let us continue. So determine the next step. Okay, so the next step is, okay, first we determine the value of this MUT, what is coming, let us see, because we have determined the mu1 and mu2, right? So here after calculating this one, mu1 value is how much? mu1 is 177 kilonewton meter, right? So let us write 177 kilonewton meter plus mu2, and what is the value of mu2? Oh, mu2 we have not determined yet, so let us determine. It is very easy. It is 0.87 into 415 into AST2 is this one 1126 into d minus d dash. So d is how much? D is from the top to this particular distance. I think that we have already determined. That is 462.5 minus d dash, and d dash is from the top to the center of this top reinforcement. I think that one is also calculated initially. Let us see. Yes, d dash is 35 mm. Okay, I have already shown. So it is 35. Now if you solve this, you will get the mu2, right? This is mu2, yes. So what will be the solution for this? For this equation, what will be the solution? It should be coming around 173. Yes, you just cross check. 173 kilonewton meter. Okay. Now when you add these two, mu2 is actually having the value of 173 kilonewton meter. So when you solve this, you will get the value that is 250. Sorry, 350. 350 kilonewton meter. Got it? So this is one value of the total moment due to the steel failure. Okay, so we got this particular value due to the steel failure we got. Now we need to determine this MUC, that means due to the concrete failure. Now minimum of these two will give me the moment of resistance. In the question, what we need to determine, that is the moment of resistance, right? Moment of resistance, and that will be the minimum of MUT and MUC. The minimum of these two will give me the moment of resistance. So let us determine one by one. Now we are interested with this MUC.